Hey guys, it's early November. Oop, so out of focus. And this is my Meyer Lemon tree that I got from Home Depot early this season, probably like early summer. So I got it for 30 bucks. This is how big the stem is. And I try to pick a big one. And I try to force it to bloom 2 times. The first time, what I did was I cut the top of like each branch. You cut the tip. Let me show you. Actually, let me show you one with leaf. So for example, if you have something like this, oh, the bloom just fell. I would cut the tip a little bit, or I would pinch off the leaves. That's how I learned from other Vietnamese on how to force it to bloom. Is what they actually do is they pluck off all the leaves early spring when they take it out from the garage or whatever. I have a friend who has a big Meyer lemon, and hers, she doesn't do that. But she has like a sunroom, so she just keeps it indoors. Mine's in the gym because my husband cannot stand the smell, which I think smells so good. It's so fragrant. You see the focus. You see their clusters. And check over here. Let me see. Make sure it's focused. You see all those little lemons? Well, okay. Backtrack to when I first bought it. I did transplant it and I mixed it with soil, a little play sand from my son's sandbox, and a little mulch. I just mixed it all in so that the soil felt fluffy. And then I covered it with leaf mulch that hasn't composted yet. And then throughout the summer, I kept it pretty much almost in full sun and watered it, I think almost every day, sometimes twice a day if it gets very hot. So it grew a lot. So I just told you I pruned it once, plucked off some leaves. I got some blooms, but none of the fruits set like how it is now. See up here. So I forced it again the second time, and I actually took some cuttings, and they're actually really easy to root, except I had like a medical thing, so I didn't really take care of my plants for a little bit, and my cuttings all died because I just had it out. But you can see here's where I pruned it. If I have time, I'll show you a picture of what it looked like before I pruned it. And I thought initially I pruned it right here. Let me see. Right here, because you can see the wound. But then you see this cut here. So I'm actually not sure where I pruned it. Maybe I pruned it there or there. I just have to look at the picture. But I did do a hard prune. And oops, sorry, it's blurry. And right here, I'm actually doing an air layer because I wanted to open up the plant more. I wanted the center to be open. And I saw some people were able to do it while it's fruiting because my goal is to get this and plant this in the ground next year to see how it does. Because I noticed whatever they use for the rootstock, because you can see it's grafted. Let me see. You can see, I don't know if you can make it out, but you see that mark right there? So they use a rootstock and then they grafted the Meyer lemon on. And whatever it is, I don't think it made it more cold hardy because when the weather temperature started dropping, I think it was around like 30 or 40 at night, mostly like high 30s or low 40s at night Fahrenheit. The plant started to look kind of dead, and then I kind of freaked out and I added excuse me, I added some azalea fertilizer. It's more like a balanced fertilizer, and then all the leaves dropped You see here? They were already looking yellow because, as I was saying, I wasn't really taking care of it. Towards the fall season because I had an issue. But because you can see the plant looks really bare. Those leaves literally just dropped on their own. And that's when I got all these blooms. In terms of fertilizing, I had good compost soil in here. And then I also gave it some boost, with the magic Miracle Grow fertilizer that a lot of people don't like, but I think it works. And I haven't really found anything that suggests it is terrible for you. But to each their own. If you want to use something organic and natural, that's up to you. Personally, I take, like supplements. So I considered Miracle Grow like that. It's the blue stuff. And I would just sprinkle some like directly on here. And then I'll just pour water over it when I have time. I saw in another video where a grower said he did that, but because Miracle Grow has salt in it, I guess it becomes salt or whatever. So when you water it, once in a while, you should stop the fertilizing and then just rinse all the salt out with just by watering it. So you rinse it out. So this, I believe, is south-facing window, but it's getting some light now. And then I'll show you how so I've been using this. I actually use another brush, but I have no idea where I put it. And then what I do you can still see I have some pollen. Oops, it's not focusing there on it. And what I do is, you can see, I think you see how this bloom is kind of dead? It's like wilted. I think it's, look, if I poke it out. And I'm really excited because I never had lemons before, so if it's outdoors and it's windy, I assume all the, oops, sorry, it's out of focus. Oh, there we go. And let me try to find a bloom that is actually new. You can kind of tell if it's new if it looks like fresh. Like, see, this also is a little wilty, but we can do this too, just in case. Because sometimes I see bees, they do visit it twice. So I just do it gently. I would watch a bee pollinate, because before I'll be like, but I think that's too much, because bees are pretty gentle. Let me see if I could see or find, oh, this one might be fresh here. And then what I do, you just get the pollen and mix it. And make sure I go back to this one. And some people I read were like, oh, don't fertilize when it's fruiting. Excuse me. I actually fertilize a little bit, but just a little bit, because you can see the pot is not that big. Here, if I can zoom out more. There, can you see? The pot is actually not that big. And they've been dropping, you can see. Oop. And I think at the end of the day, it's when the plant is ready, it will bloom, or if you really fertilize it. Apparently, they're really heavy feeders. Like I was saying, I try to fertilize a lot over the summer to get it big. And also, I learned through bonsai is people cut the tips and the stems like this. Like when you cut it like this, it sends energy, it directs energy back to the stem. So it gets the stem bigger. And I think that's how you could really determine if something's going to fruit really well. Because before I used to think it's the amount of leaves, but you can see there's literally not that much leaves on here, but it's still holding on to the fruit like pretty well. Look. So if I go like this, okay, some of the flowers are dropping, but I figure it would do that naturally if it's outside anyways. You can see, oop, that just dropped. They smell so good. And before we go, I also want to show you this one. This one I got a little later in the season and I got kind of lazy and I didn't have time to really take care of it. So I didn't even repot it. I just been watering it. And if you look over here, I got some blooms too. Excuse me, I just have terrible allergies. Let's see, can you see that? It's taking a while. I'm thinking of repotting it, but you can see this is brand new growth. So that's, if I put my cup here, you can see the stem. Just pluck that off. Ow, it's so tough to take off. There, you can see the cut is there, and then look how much it grew. And that's literally from being in the same pot it came in. I haven't even repotted it yet. This one is, what is this called? This is a Persian lime in a one gallon, and it's $30. So if this is 1 gallon, I am guessing this is, actually, does it say how many gallons? No, actually, no, actually, this is new, so maybe 2, 3 gallons. I'm not that great at estimating. Yeah, but I'm super excited. I would update you on how my air layer works. I might air layer some more for growth that I'm not too particularly loving. Super excited. Oh, here's another one. Another bloom. It's hard to focus. Yep, and then once I get my other room settled, I'm going to bring in some plants and show you how my guava seedlings and all those are doing. If you find this info helpful, please give me a like or subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye!